everyone, it's Jordan and Allie with Trendy in Toledo. Today we are talking about the I Never Expire movement. Allie, do you want to explain a little bit more about it?
So the hashtag I Never Expire movement is a new age-related phenomenon, just really taking apart the whole age relation that you were supposed to do certain milestones by a certain age. So a lot of these could be including having children by 35, getting married by your late 20s, graduating college by 21. I mean, these phenomenons are set in stone in society by family members and also friends that we're supposed to do these certain milestones by a certain time, but there really is no timeline. And that's what I Never Expire is really trying to portray, is that people never expire. Their timeline can be whenever that they want it to be.
I thought the I Never Expire movement was extremely powerful. I mean, I graduated college in 4 years, but I felt a lot of pressure to get it done. I took summer classes because I didn't want to go to my friends and say, yeah, I'm going for a 5th or 6th year. So I think this movement is so powerful to let young women and men know that you don't have to graduate in a certain time. You can do it at your own pace, and that's okay too.
I feel like that's a very odd timeline that we have to do these certain things, especially having children, because some women don't want to have kids, and that's completely fine.
Totally agree. I feel like some women that don't want to have kids are questioned all the time, well, why don't you? Why don't you want to have kids? And that's not a big deal. They can choose to not have kids. You don't have to. And I feel like sometimes they're put down for that reason, and that's not fair to them.
So we wanted to find out for ourselves. So we headed out to the University of Toledo.
And we interviewed students on if they feel pressured by their friends, family, or society on completing college before 21, going to college, having a family before 30, and we had some pretty interesting answers. So now we're going to just start thinking if you feel any of these pressures from your family and friends. So you can say, like, if you're not to go to college, 1, or it can be extremely pressured, 5. So,
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like a lot of people kind of just stress on how college is very important. Even like when you're young, when you're like 5, your parents are like, hey, you got to go to college, and they tell you all about college. And like you see a lot of people who are your age who are doing big and great things, and you're just kind of like, you know, I want to be that person, but people don't always have the experience and the skills to do that.
What advice do you have for everyone out there that you don't have to go to college, or no, you don't have to graduate to the 21? What advice do you have for them?
Like you said, everyone has their own timeline. Like I'm 21 and I still haven't graduated. Like I transferred over to UT, and this is what, I'm technically a senior, but I still have a lot of years to go.
What do you think this was for? Why'd you circle 4? It's okay. Oh my God. You're welcome. Thank you.
I was asked you.
1 to 5 of how much you feel.
I took a gap here before I started college here. Not really that pressure to do much. I just kind of go on my own and just do whatever I can to do what I do, and then after I graduate, well, then see where I go after that.
Do you feel that it should be more like that, the way that you're doing things, not having this certain timeline?
Oh, definitely. I believe that I know I've seen a lot of people here in the 3 years. I've been here for 2 years. This is my 3rd year. But from what I've seen from people, I've heard of people that have gone from like engineering majors and then they switched over to something like English because they just couldn't deal with it, and they were usually like pressured by their family or something to go into these like complicated majors because they were told that they're not going to find a job by like 25 or something if they graduate and something like that. But then they went to the other major, but they were happier doing what they're doing. So I mean, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then what on earth's the point of doing what you're doing?
And I felt like it was really divided. I feel like a lot of the males that we talked to were really just more concerned about their college majors. I feel like they weren't really necessarily thinking too much about the future. It seems like every female that we talked to, they were worried about everything. Their major, to graduate on time, starting a family, finding a significant other that they can then start a family with. I mean, they were thinking years and years ahead.
What I found was most shocking is that most of the students we interviewed felt extremely pressured for going to college, graduating by 21, and finding a job in their field. Most people would be pressured to get married before 30 and have children before 30 as well too.
It was really interesting. I mean, we were almost 50-50 with wanting to have children before the age of 30, but I feel like a lot of the women that we interviewed and surveyed, they were really leaning towards yes. They felt extreme pressure to have kids before 30, and a lot of men answered no. I feel like the most outtake that I had throughout this whole video, throughout this whole experience, and really seeing kind of behind the scenes and doing more research into the I Never Expire movement is that you are in charge of your own timeline. There's nothing that says you have to do these things. Yes, people might feel obligated to tell you how to live your life, whether it being your parents, aunts, uncles, friends, professors. There's really no timeline.
No, everybody is on their own path, and that's okay. We need to remember that. And you know, students in college need to remember that. It doesn't matter what your family wants, what your friends are doing on social media.
Yes.
This is your life, this is your pathway, and you can decide how it's gonna go. So this is what's trending in Toledo.